Hello, Bingo fans. Welcome to, well, actually, this is the second round 2 match of the brackets. I'm Awesome Agron, and today we got a very, very hot match between Dray33 and CMFP. Both of these runners obviously being very respectable at Bingo, making it to round 2 in the brackets. CMFP obviously being a sub-hour runner is going to be able to take advantage of possibly just blitzing kingdoms with his any percent knowledge. So with this in mind, we're gonna see a very interesting match. Dray definitely not too far behind him in terms of the ability to blitz any percent, but I think that will definitely have a play in this match. Alright, let's take a look at this board. So 16 Cascade in the center square, that's not a bad center square at all. I don't think that's bad at all, to be honest. We got 4 ground pound moons D-side, and oh, I just realized I didn't mute the commentary stream. That is my bad, guys. Anyways, going back to dissecting this board, we got 4 ground pound moons from C-side and 4 moons from sub-area C-side. It looks like this might be a lock. Not entirely certain yet. There's also 6 ground pound moons in C-side. Doesn't look like it's a lock, but it also doesn't leave them with too many options for an early finish. So this should be interesting. I also see a 95 moons total. Might be best to avoid that, especially since it's, you know, with some C-side squares. Unless if we can get a really good C-side route rolling with these 4 and 6 ground pound moons, I feel like avoiding C-side is definitely going to be the play. So, with this in mind, let's take a look at some of the early finish possibilities, and let's just see what we could potentially be seeing from our runners. So, I don't see life up parts on this card, so they don't need to worry about anything in Cap Kingdom, thankfully. So, that's always nice to know that you're not missing out on something immediately. I do see 26 Metro in the bottom left. That's probably not going to be ideal. That's almost treated like a C-side snow goal, since you're staying in Metro past that 20 moon mark. Now, they could potentially pair that with the 95 if they are going to C-side. So, I definitely do see a lot of moon synergy that could make that 95 worth. I also see 100 and 200 total regionals. So, honestly, it's not looking too bad even if they go to C-side. In terms of early finish, that's also an option. This is a very interesting card. 9 story moons is Metro, unfortunately. Actually, that definitely limits a lot of options. So they can early finish, but the earliest they can finish is with the 4th musician. That's assuming they got all the other story moons before Metro. So I think with this in mind, actually going to C-side isn't bad of a play at all. I definitely think C-side's gonna be the play here, because like I said, the earliest that you can finish is the 4th musician with the 9 story moons. And it doesn't really look like that's gonna be ideal either, because they might be forced into going back to Cap. And revisits in general probably are not the play unless if they help substantially with your route. So I actually do believe this 95 moons total is going to be in play. So I'm going to route with it in mind. I'm thinking something along the lines of row 4 BLTR and C5. That looks pretty promising. You got a pretty decent amount of moon synergy here, actually. In fact, that's over 95. So let's see if we can cut some of that down, potentially. It's not bad at all. There's definitely a lot of moons in this route. Maybe we can avoid the 16 Cascade, as that is a bit of, you know, bit of a yikes. It is a bit too many extra moons, unfortunately. So maybe what they could do is they could avoid the diagonal and do C4 instead, and that actually looks pretty promising, because that puts their moon total pretty much exactly at 95 with this route. I'm definitely a fan of row 4, C4, and C5 right now. I think that's really, really good. I'm avoiding BLTR because you're getting too many moons, and again, staying in Metro long isn't exactly ideal. Unless if you have, like, sub-areas to do, or, God forbid, World Peace Metro. So, with this in mind, the runners should be finishing up what they are deciding to do, and we'll obviously see what they're gonna do. You hate this board? I don't think it's that bad. I think the moon synergy is actually pretty kind here. There's definitely a lot of opportunities to work with it. And you're not going too far out of your way for anything else. Like, 100 total regionals, that's easy. You're also getting 16 wooded with the route that I suggested. 6 souvenirs, that's only 3 shop visits, and, well, 3 shop visits, assuming you maximize your regionals properly. You're obviously going to get 2 in wooded. You could get, Summon Cascade. Yeah, that definitely does bring up a valid point. Purchasing the 6 souvenirs is going to be awkward, because you're going to have to route in several shop visits to make it work. So, the runners are immediately, just going into Cascade, just getting regionals. It's possible that they could be working toward that 200 total goal, which I guess is okay. Ooh, CMFP attempting rib jump, but not quite making it work. I saw what he was trying to do there. He was trying to get up top without having to do the 8-bit or Dino Skip. But he is, unfortunately, going to have to back it up with what most people would be doing anyway. I think he was trying to get to Toad, if I had to guess. There is a 3-Captain Toad total moon for this board, so definitely getting Toad. Dray having some interesting difficulties here getting to these regionals on the clouds. Oh no, Dray, what is happening? Yikes. Okay, he got them. That's cool. CMFP just dipping out of Cascade. He just wanted Toad in a few regionals, and he's leaving. It's possible the runners haven't fully decided what they're going for, and Dray's just collecting these regionals in case he decides to go for the 200. Because I do not see any regional goals in Cascade on this board, so they'd definitely be working toward a total in this particular case. I'm still on the mindset where row 4, C4, and C5 is the route that I would go for. It's pretty good, it has good moon synergy, and you're not really going too out of your way for much. 20 captures by Seaside, easy peasy, dude. 5 chests by Seaside, also easy. 3 Captain Toads by Seaside, very easy. The only thing that's slightly out of the way here is the purchase 6 souvenirs. But because they're making a backtrack to Cap for this checkpoint, potentially, they could work that in with souvenirs, as Cap does have very quick regionals. You think row 2's better? My only problem with row 2 is the only, like, really good regional synergy on this board is with the 60 wooded. And I don't think that's enough to make it worth going for the 200 total. I would definitely justify it for the 100, though, as 100 up to Seaside is very easy, and if you're already having 60 built in, definitely, 100%. That's my only turn-off for row 2. But row 2 does also have purchase 5 moons, which could synergize with them getting the souvenirs. As, if you don't know, souvenirs only cost 5 coins to purchase one of them. 5 regional coins. They only cost 5 regional coins if you're getting one of them. But if you're getting both from a kingdom, it will cost 30, because the other one does cost 25. So, with this in mind, routing with that 5 purchase moons in mind for the synergy could potentially make the shop visits a lot more planned and a lot less of a headache, and less of a headache in bingo sounds pretty good to me. $100 total regional coins on this board doesn't seem very appealing, just because you only have 60 built in. But they are going to Seaside, so they will have plenty of opportunities to run past some really quick regionals and get, like, 20, 30 in each of the kingdoms. So it's not going to be terrible if they do decide to go for it. Just not my personal cup of tea. CMFP did something weird. He kind of, like... At first I thought he was doing some any percent stuff with sand, but turns out he debated me and went straight toward the ruins. And now he's doing any percent. So, not sure what that was all about. Potentially he wants to plant seeds, so he's going to work that in by getting the ruin seed and then juggling. I could definitely potentially see that. He is over here. That would be a wise move if he is going to plant the seeds. Yeah, he's just doing reverse Jaxie stuff, so... Showing off some pretty cool any percent movement. That is not easy any percent movement to do. Very difficult any percent movement. Dray planting some seeds, like I mentioned. I think he only planted one, though. And I think he only did it just because it's a fast moon. I didn't see him go into the menu, though. Is that a planned DSTA? Question mark? He probably went into the menu, and I just missed it. It's a pretty fast sequence. It's like 15-20 seconds. Yeah, I figured he went into the menu, but I'm still waiting to see the planned DSTA in the story. I know someone's going to do it. I know one person is going to be crazy enough to plan a DSTA into their route. One person. That's all it takes. Anyways. CMFP's timer is kind of obstructed. Not sure what happened there. Probably just something with the layout. No big deal. We can use Dray's timer to figure out what's going on with that. Dray collecting the regionals inside of the 8-bit section, not the one that I would recommend going into, because it's literally just regionals. So CMFP is going to be planting seeds, but he's choosing, in my opinion, the worst of the two seeds. Between Ruin Seed and this one, I go Ruin pretty much 10 times out of 10. I hate this seed, to be honest. It's not that it's, like, far away, because it's actually probably closer. Just the movement to get it is so absurdly stupid. You've been trying it, but it's just never worked. Unfortunate. Dray grabbing atop the highest tower. It is a goal on this board. But he hasn't marked it yet, so probably means that he's just doing it to potentially think about his route more. That's actually something that I like doing if I don't quite know what I'm doing yet in my route. I'll just grab, like, some sand story moons and be like, hey, now I have time to think because I grabbed a story moon. And that's, like, 15 seconds that I can use to think without having to, you know, sit around, so... That could be potentially what he's doing. But he's also doing moon shards in the sand. I don't see any total moon shards on this board. Also, this is an interesting way to go about this. I've never went about moon shards in the sand like this. What is this? Is this optimal? Is this the way it's, like, meant to be done? Like, is this the optimal way to do moon shards in the sand? I've never done it like that. That did not look optimal in the slightest. I don't know. Maybe. I'd love to know if anyone in chat knows if that was the optimal way to do moon shards in the sand, because I've never seen it done that way. You think he's going for 28? Oh, I hope not. Dray, please tell me you're not going for 28. Now, I guess this could still work out if he is planning to early finish with the 9 story moons. he might just be looking for, hey, I want to finish this early as possible, and that's cool, but just the synergy just isn't there, personally. I don't think the early finish is worth, considering the earliest finish you can do, as I've mentioned, is the 4th musician in Metro. So, with this in mind, Dray going for the 28 concerns me greatly, because I don't think the early finish is the play. Are they both doing 28? Oh, come on, guys. I think they're both doing 28. I think they both saw the early finish and was just like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I don't know why they're both doing moon shards in the sand, though. That's a bit questionable. But, you know. I guess this works. I think they both are. Because why would they grab moon shards in the sand, besides the story moon? Yeah, CMFP definitely is. I think it's still on the table for Dray. Dray collecting a lot of regionals. This definitely makes me think he's going for 200. Like, almost guaranteed. Because there's no reason he would be collecting this many regionals if he wasn't going for 200. Yeah. Okay, so Dray going for... Wait, they're both leaving? Why is CMFP leaving? Alright. CMFP just grabbed a few extra moons for no real reason, to be honest. So, they're both leaving sand. Thank goodness they're not both going for the 28. That would have been rough. Yeah, so they're both going for story moons. I can pretty much confirm that. Which is interesting, because that's gonna force Cap revisit. Which we're seeing now from Dray, actually. Funny you mentioned that. Are they both going back to Cap? Nope, CMFP's going straight to Lake. He could potentially be working in a Cascade revisit with Lake Art. I could see that. I love doing that with Cascade revisits. The thing is, if they're going for the 95 total, they're forced to go to Seaside, which is a little concerning if they're grabbing the story moons. Because IMO, that's not the play. Story moons are kind of slow, and getting 9 of them without any other synergy to it, it's a bit rough. Usually you'd want to pair story moons with something like World Peace and Wooded, or, you know, God forbid, World Peace and Metro. You know, just goals that generally, you know, go with getting story moons. Moon shards in the sand, obviously, atop the highest tower. Considering neither of them marked it, it's a little bit interesting to me. But CMFP doing some late clip shenanigans. Not entirely sure why he's doing this. I guess he's decided that he wants to go for the 200 as well. Because there's no reason he would go this out of the way for regionals if he's only getting 100. No way, dude. And there's no, like, APC in a kingdom on this board either. So I'm a little bit confused what CMFP's doing collecting those regionals if it isn't for the 200. We already saw him plant some seeds. So, I guess he's doing... Okay. It's confirmed that Dray's doing World 1. That is definitely certain. I'm just not sure where the other lines come into play. It's style points, but it also was completely unnecessary. Unless if he is going for this 200 total. It's the only way I would really justify it here. Because there's not, like, any other goals that really make going that out of the way for the regionals worth it. CMFP playing the sub-area a little bit safe. Understandable. This is a very tough sub-area, so... taking deaths here isn't exactly ideal, so... definitely playing things a little bit safe, but then just completely ignoring what I was saying, and he tried some risky business. But quite make it work. That's okay. He played it relatively safe. Yeah, that does seem likely for a route for Dray. Because he's shown that he's pretty much going for this early finish. But he's not quite, you know... like, the synergy for this route is okay, I reckon, but it's not great. And like I said, 9 story moons is pretty slow. And the cap backtrack makes the early finish even less viable. Though, he did have to... no, he didn't have to revisit for purchase moons, so... honestly, I'm a little surprised that Dray still decided to go for an early finish, even though it's literally just... you know, you still have to get 4 musicians in Metro. That's at least 6 minutes into any percent Metro, so... it's like... was it worth it? Honestly, I don't think so. But we'll just have to wait and see. This is far from over. The runners still have a lot of ground to cover. CMFP revealing that he's probably doing 16 Lake. This board's interesting. I still think the route that I chose is honestly the best. I really like the moon synergy with it. It totals up to just about 95, too. 6 extra loss, 8 extra lake. Actually, it's perfectly 95, because you get the 6 ground pound moons in Seaside. It's literally 95 right there. And you're not going out of your way for too much else. Yeah, honestly, this board's fine. I like the route that I chose at the very start. The revisit to cap's a little dumb, but considering you're purchasing souvenirs, I'll let it slide. Dray going for late clip. Probably just for moons. Ooh, fake clip. You hate to see it. Yeah, that's the thing with late clip. He's doing a weird crouch setup. I've never really seen anyone do a crouch setup for it. Another fake clip. Might be time to throw in the towel on late clip, Dray. It's not necessary for this board. You can get 16 without it. Oh, this is bad, chat. That's 3 fake clips in a row. Alright, well, he got it. He's also going for these regionals. Yeah, he pretty much has to be doing 200 total. Both of them must be doing 200 total. Again, there's no reason they would go out of the way for regionals like that if they weren't going for 200. But yeah, both of them definitely showing off some cool, purple routing. Dray going the extra mile, getting these purples up here as well. Wait, he clicked back in. Did he want that? He did this all for purples? Huh. Did he want that? I guess he wanted that. Okay. CMFP finishing up as 16 in Lake. So, he'll be leaving Lake, but he hasn't gone back to Cap, and his route does suggest that he is doing a Cap revisit, so... we'll likely see him go back to Cap right now, and probably pair it with a revisit to Cascade. Though if he is revisiting Cascade, his only option is the BLTR, which is 26 moons in Metro, which isn't terrible, per se, but, again, still a lot of moons, and if he's not going for the 95 total, which forces him to go to Seaside. It begs the question, is that worth it? I don't know. Dray getting a lot of regionals here. Guess Lake is just like comfort food for him. Very confident with the Lake regionals. Making sure he gets his refresh cap bounce. Very important in jump, grab, cling, and climb. CMFP making his revisit to cap. A little bit later than Dray, but... you know, same idea. He's getting 6 moons. Probably the same 6 moons Dray got. It'll be this one, Purchase, Timer, Toad, Frog Pond. Dray making his way up to Rango. You should definitely be fighting Rango if you're going for 16, so... he's a fast fight. You know, it's 3 moons. Why not fight him? It's a fast fight, dude. CMFP collecting some regionals here. Likely working in 2 souvenirs with this, assuming he's doing C4. Now we get to see Frog Pond. Very exciting sub-area. Working in the purples with the Frog Pond sub-area, very smart. Because he's likely getting 2 souvenirs. No, CMFP got the checkpoint. Pretty sure he got the checkpoint. Huh. Alright, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Doing some interesting purple routing here. Kind of doing like a backwards thing to something that I would do. But this definitely makes sense as well. Exiting Frog Pond and then getting the regionals like that, that's pretty smart. And now he's gonna do Toad, Timer, into Purchase. Wait, no, he already purchased. So he'll purchase his souvenirs. Interesting how he worked his shop visits into 2 separate things here. I guess it makes sense though, since you're going to be working your way towards that area. Wait. Okay. Okay. He just got a little bit confused where it was, that's all. Not bad, not bad. So Niter Runner has made it to Wooded Kingdom yet, and we are approaching the 30-minute mark. So they better be going for early finishes, otherwise I don't know what's going on. And like I said, I really don't think the early finish was worth it here. But to each their own. I respect the decision. Yeah, I think they're both going for the same route, just treating it a little bit differently. Because we saw them both plant seeds. We saw them both go back to cap. Get 16 Lake. Wait, CMFP did get 16 Lake, right? He never marked it. Did CMFP get 16 moons in Lake? Chat, any ideas? He might have just forgot to mark it. Anyways, Dray finishing up in Lake. So CMFP is a little bit ahead. Dray did spend a little bit of time with late clips, so that's understandable that CMFP is a little bit of a lead right now, and they are basically doing the same things, so... Pretty sure he got 16 late. Do we have a tracker for this match? I don't know. Okay. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm gonna check and see if there's a tracker for this match, because they aren't in the Discord. Yeah, there is no tracker for this match, unfortunately. No one signed up to be a tracker for this match. So... I'm just gonna have to take their word on it. Pretty sure they got 16 like, I'm just forgetting to mark it. Oh, that'd be bad if he didn't get 16 like. Alright. Moving on, though. Both runners making their way well into Wooded Kingdom. Both probably going for the 60 regional coins. I wouldn't imagine them not going for it at this point. Ooh, Dray exiting out of the shop. I think he wanted to purchase a moon there. So yeah, I'm a little bit unsure what CMFP is going for. Because... I'm assuming he got 16 Lake and they're both doing the same route, but if he didn't do 16 Lake, what is he getting? He must have just forgot to mark it. I'm driving myself crazy about this. Dray capturing the Fire Bro. Probably important first 20 unique captures. Even though it's only 20, it's still very easy to slip up and count your captures, so... He's playing it safe, just getting ones that are on his path. And that's how you should do it for 20. You shouldn't go super out of your way for them if you're just going for 20, but you still need to be wary about it. So they're both radically taking Wooded in very different directions. Which is pretty interesting. Like, Wooded is definitely one of the more complex kingdoms to route in Bingo, next to Sand. I personally think Wooded's harder, but Sand is definitely up there as well for tough kingdoms to route. Yeah, Wooded is just always a very difficult time. Because you got deep woods, you got the verticality of the kingdom, the fact that the checkpoints don't unlock until you beat Spewert. Half of the sub-areas aren't even available until you beat Spewert, so it's like, this kingdom, man, I tell you what. Well, we're definitely gonna see both of the runners, okay, there we go, he marked it, he remembered. Okay. We're safe, chat. Ooh, getting the Tower Regionals. Very interesting. Definitely not my first pick for Wooded Regionals. Even if you're only going for 60. I guess it makes sense. They're on his path. I'm just not really sure if it's something that I would do, but we're good. So yeah, they're both going to be fighting Spewert, so that way they can unlock the top of the kingdom and get that other story moon. Actually, that might be something worth timing. Is it faster to go to the top of the kingdom and break the targets, or is it faster to go into sewers and get the 5th story moon in Metro? I'd actually love someone to time that. It's gotta be close. Dray giving us a capture check. I didn't quite see what the number was, but I'm assuming he's on track. But yeah, that'd be interesting to time. Is it faster to go into sewers and get the 5th story moon? Or is it faster to go to the top of the kingdom and break the targets? Because surely, going out of your way to break the targets probably isn't worth it. I guess if you're good at Sewer Clip, the answer is definitely get the 5th story moon in Metro. But, even without Sewer Clip, I'm sure it would be close. Now we're seeing Dray make his way up to Spirit, doing Tower Skip. CMFP did not do Tower Skip, but I doubt he lost too much time from it, so... CMFP purchasing 2 more souvenirs. I think he's almost done purchasing them. I think he only needs to purchase them in Lost Kingdom now, and I think he only needs 1 more. So, he's likely just gonna go into the shop, purchase his moon, and then just get the 5. CMFP's regional decisions are kinda interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure why he, went into the cave just for those 3. I know that he got most of the ones in that area already, but you would think you would get those as you were going around the outside anyway. I don't know. But it's just a very deep kingdom for routing. CMFP opting to do the Goryuya wall climb, realizing he does not need the extra moon inside the rock wall. Pretty smart. Definitely makes sense to do that. And we are going to see CMFP go up to break these targets. It definitely does make me wonder, though. Would it be faster to do it the other way? Surely it could be. Alright, so both runners making their way, finishing up Wooded. Probably gonna be entering Lost around the 41-minute mark, it looks like. For CMFP, at least. Actually, he might be closer to finishing than I thought. It looks like he's short a moon. So let's see what he decides to do. Wait, he's short a moon. Rabbit? Oh, the hint art. Wait, no, he's not short of it. Never mind, I'm blind. Oh, that's the wrong tree, CMFP. No. Very common mistake if you're not super familiar with that hint art is. It's very easy to examine the wrong tree. Oh, he was missing a moon. Never mind, I'm not blind. CMFP making his way out of Wooded. Dray falling behind. They are doing the same route, so this is concerning for Dray. FP will need to screw up kind of big and Lost through Metro to really give Dray a chance here. Because again, they are doing the same exact route. There's not really room for error here. In terms of, routing, because they're doing the same thing. No, it's definitely still anyone's game, but Dray's definitely on the hot seat right now. But Dray's done purchasing his souvenirs. So that does give him a slight advantage. I guess. Look, man, I'm just trying to look for upsides here. So, CMFP fighting Bowser, just you know, working his way around here. Not too bad. Again, Dray marking off more goals than CMFP, but that does not mean Dray has the lead. No, it does not. I guess CMFP just forgot to mark off 60 regionals with it. Understandable. It's hard to, like, mark goals while you're playing, so you try to wait till cutscenes to do it. So it's understandable that he's waiting. But at the same time, he's also just forgetting. So we now know the time gap here. Dray is exactly 1 Cloud Kingdom behind CMFP. So it's about 1.5 minutes. Not terrible. Definitely still winnable. But Dray is on the hot seat. Ooh. Missing the butterfly. Not ideal, but he'll make something work. Collecting more regionals. Using the Tropical Wiggler to grab those. Not exactly fast, but he does need captures, so makes sense. Might as well use something that you need to capture anyway. And like I said, CMFP likely collecting these regionals to help him purchase his souvenirs, but also the fact that he does need 200. I haven't been keeping close track of the runners' regional counts. I have a general idea where they're at, but I don't know for certain where they are at in terms of regionals, so assuming they've both been planning that well, they should be okay. Their route might not sub 50, but you want to know what route would have sub 50 BP? Mine. My route definitely could have sub 50. Guaranteed. Anyways. Both runners just making their way around Lost, collecting moons and regionals. Lost has relatively fast regionals, so I wouldn't be surprised if the runners stayed here a little bit longer just to grab a few more of those. Especially if they're short. Again, I haven't been keeping super close track of the runners' regionals. I really wish we had a tracker for this match. But, you know, we can trust that the runners know what they're doing with tracking their regional counts. Alright, both runners finishing up with Lost Kingdom. Dray actually caught up a bit here. And that was because Dray didn't have to purchase his souvenirs here. Wait, CMFP didn't do that either? Probably just forgot to mark goal again. I'm noticing a theme here. CMFP's just forgetting to mark goals. It's all good. As long as he marks them all at the end, that's all that really matters. Definitely making sure I gotta keep up on my toes and making sure CMFP isn't missing anything, though I don't think he has been. So, he's fine. This might still sub 50, actually. If CMFP plays Night Metro and, like, his Day Metro really clean, he could still potentially sub 50. It's gonna be close. He doesn't have a lot of room for error. But either way, regardless if they sub 50 or not, both runners putting on excellent showing here. Like, this is still really close. Dray definitely made up some ground and lost over CMFP. Whether it was because CMFP had to visit the shop for souvenirs, or because CMFP just decided to play Lost a little bit safe. Either way, Dray did make up some ground, so still anyone's game. And with this in mind, Dray's about a city hole behind CMFP at this point. Not bad at all. But he's opting to collect City Hall purple coins? He must be short. There is no reason that you would collect these unless if you knew that you were short. That's not good, chat. I think he knows he's short purples. Because you would almost never grab those. Maybe the two on the wooden plank, but definitely not the rest of it. Anyways, with this in mind, both of the runners are going to be finishing up here shortly, within the next 5 minutes. For both of them, probably. So yeah, I'm trying to think. CMFP still has a bit of ground that he needs to cover with purchasing, potentially. They both have to plant seeds, too. Yeah, I don't think either of them can sub 50, actually, now I think about it. Even though planting the seeds is pretty short, it's still gonna take time. Thankfully, it's only 4 seeds, so they can just plant the 2 in the front, and that'll be good enough. Oh, Dray barely 2-side one. Alright, CMFP planting these seeds as expected. He's gonna make very quick work of these, and collect some regionals while he's doing it. Makes sense. He's getting some captures as well. Did he only plant 1 seed? I don't think he got all 3 in sand. He's probably gonna get the other one when he does guitars. You know what? That's actually smart. Good on CMFP. He's gonna get the other one when he gets guitars. Guaranteed. CMFP, you gotta mark goals, man! You got these story moon cutscenes. Why aren't you marking the goals? Like... Okay, he's good on captures, we saw that. Okay, he's checking his regionals. Okay, I just got a really good glimpse of his regional count. 35 plus 24 plus 24 plus 60 plus 35? I think I do one of those. It was something like that. He's close, he's close. I think he's about 22 regional short. But he can definitely make that up here. There's some fast regionals in Metro. I don't think I accounted for his Lake regionals, so he might have had a few. Oh, dude, this is so close. Dray's been more on top of his regionals. Wait, Dray, what are you doing? No! No, that's the wrong... That's the wrong seed to plant! Oh no. Chat. Why are you straight planting this one? Oh, dude, this might have sealed his fate. This is not the seed you want to plant. He made it work, but, that's major time loss.
Hi.
Why isn't CMFP marking goals? Is he done? Dude, you gotta mark goals. He hasn't marked any of his goals. Hold on, I'm in the bingo sync room. CMFP, please mark your goals. Thanks. I'm gonna mark him as done, but we're definitely gonna need to verify some things.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, that's all, chat. I'm almost certain he's completed everything. So if he wants to come in for a post-game interview, he can if he wants. Dray will be finishing up here very shortly. Literally right now. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I'm having so many tech issues right now. My browser is like frozen. I can't check the bingo board or the race time.
Oh, okay, I understand now.
Yeah, I can't even.
It's fine.
Check.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I feel a little bit bad. Oh, thanks. Wait, so what were the times? Do you know?
It looks like you got. I can't really see your timer because it's like kind of obscured on the layout. It looks like you got a high 49, and Dray got a low 51.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So very close. You guys were within 2 minutes of each other, and you guys both did the same route. Personally, I didn't think the early finish here was worth. I would have done something like a row 4, C4, C5. I really like the moon synergy, and there's not too much extra that you gotta do in that route, even though you're going to Seaside.
Yeah, I was pretty on the fence because so much of Yo, Dray, what's up?
How's it going, Dray?
Huh? But yeah, so much of the opportunity to avoid Seaside meant like there's a 26 Metro one, which I definitely wanted to avoid. And then it ended up being kind of a lot of time in sand and cap and everything with this route.
Yeah,
and there's
true.
A lot to keep track of just in general. There were so many things, and the fact that I couldn't check off the bingo board made it confusing.
Oh my god, yeah, that's true. And then, the other thing is, I thought you were going for 28 sand at first, but I think you just collected a few extra moons.
Yeah, I totally misrouted because I forgot about the story moons until I was done with sand, and then I was looking at my notes, and then I was oh crap, I gotta go get those 2 moons too.
So you both went for 200 on this board, even though there was only 1 regional goal on the whole board. Granted, it was 60 wooded, but that's still only 60 built in, so you guys had to go around and collect 140 extra regionals.
Yep.
That must have felt kind of bad.
Yeah, I actually got 20 extra.
Oh, of course.
20 extra?
Yeah, I didn't count the ones I got in cap.
Yeah.
Damn.
That definitely happens sometimes. I was talking to CMFP being I would not do the early finish here. I think something like row 4, C4, and C5 is really good because you're not doing too much extra, and even though it's 95 total going to Seaside, the moons add up perfectly. You're literally at 95 with the route.
Huh. Yeah, probably would have been pretty good.
And you literally don't have to do anything extra besides the short cap revisit, which I can justify since you have to get souvenirs.
But yeah, Dray, I don't know So I just had some weird issues on my end, so I couldn't update the board or see your updates once I got like into Wooded pretty much.
Yeah, dude, that must have felt really weird.
So I had no idea what kind of pace you were on or anything. And I couldn't see the goals I'd already done.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's final. What was this your guys' initial route for like both of you? Just looking for the early finish and being like, oh yeah, this works.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. So you both were pretty much on the mindset where you definitely wanted to avoid Seaside.
Yeah.
Even though realistically, I think it was the play on this board.
Yeah, I think the
definitely
purples
considering
were probably a lot, but
Yeah, the purples killed it, in my opinion. Like, 9 story moons is already kind of rough if you're going only to Metro. And something that I mentioned and like thought about during this race was, I wonder how much of a time difference it would be to get the 5th sewer moon versus breaking the targets for the story moons.
huh. Yeah.
It probably isn't a large difference, but it might be worth timing. Because going all the way up to the top of the kingdom to break the targets probably felt a little bad.
I mean, it didn't feel too bad considering how many purples I still needed at that
That's
point.
fair. I think with 60 regionals wooded, it's kind of justified. Since, you know, you go all around the kingdom for that. But, like, I don't know. I feel like in other circumstances, you could justify going into the sewers to grab the final story moon.
Yeah, potentially.
So, yeah, GG to both of you guys.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah. You both played pretty well. And, yeah, I think that's it from me. So, definitely follow the runners. They're both very talented. Follow me if you want. And definitely follow SpeedGaming. There wasn't a tracker for this match, unfortunately, but I believe you guys with your regional accounts, and I saw you guys pulling up menus throughout the run, so I think you're both good. And, yeah, I've been Awesome Agron, and thank you guys for watching.